We like to believe we are completely free in the modern world. We think the days of nosy neighbors watching us from windows, or judgmental relatives gossiping about our every move, are long gone. We pride ourselves on reaching the peak of individualism. But the truth is that judgmental neighborhood never disappeared. It just mutated. It moved into our pockets, right inside our phones. Today we live our lives for a global, faceless audience that doesn't actually care about us. And this invisible jury forces us to perform on the stage of our own lives every single day. In the modern Western world, there is a very clinical name for this: the performative life. Even when we are breaking inside, even when we are on the absolute brink of burnout, we feel forced to wear a mask that says, "I'm doing great, everything is perfect, I am so productive." This is what we call toxic positivity. When you go to a party, a networking event, or post on social media, and someone asks, "How are you?" you don't have the luxury to say, "Actually, I'm miserable, I'm exhausted, and I've lost my way." Because in the modern world, vulnerability is branded as failure. The silent crowd behind the screen is always watching. Instead of finding our worth within, we have outsourced our self-esteem to social media metrics, LinkedIn titles, and digital validation. The result? We are modern prisoners who can't even find peace in our own homes because we are constantly defending ourselves before an invisible jury. The great psychologist Carl Jung explained this phenomenon decades ago. He called these false faces we wear to be accepted by society the persona. Jung believed that having a persona is normal for survival. The danger begins when you start confusing the mask for your actual face. One of the heaviest chains in modern culture is peer pressure, the relentless anxiety of keeping up with the Joneses. When you see a friend's exotic vacation on Instagram or a colleague's promotion on LinkedIn, a specific fear creeps in, the fear of falling behind, or FOMO. Just to prove to that invisible audience that you are successful and that you belong, you work 60 hours a week at a job you secretly resent. You go into debt to maintain a lifestyle just to impress people you don't even like. In the end, you build a glamorous prison, admired by outsiders but deeply alienating to live in. Now it's time to ask ourselves the most brutally honest question. Let's say you lived exactly the way the digital crowd wanted you to. You never stepped out of line and you pleased everyone. What happens when you reach the end of your life and realize those choices made you deeply unhappy? That invisible crowd is not going to come and pay the emotional invoice of your life. None of them will share your inner pain or your heavy regrets. They will simply scroll past and move on to the next piece of gossip, the next social media trend. Your life's tragedy will be reduced to a 5-second swipe on their screens. Why are you handing the steering wheel of your life to the validation of strangers? Breaking this digital shackle requires one specific action: stepping off the performance stage, turning off the spotlight. Give yourself the ultimate modern luxury, the luxury of not being okay. You do not have to be happy, productive, or flawless every second of the day. Someone else's negative opinion or judgment of you does not define your worth. It merely reflects the dirty window through which they view the world. You are not responsible for cleaning their window. Stop writing the rules of your life based on the expectations of a crowd. True freedom begins when you turn your back on the invisible audience and synchronize with your own inner voice. Because this life is not a performance to be judged. It is a courageous act of simply becoming who you truly are.